What is it, Kong? What's the matter? Oh, no wonder he's excited. Take a look at this.
Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your agent of Animated Awesome and the host of Zenorama, a podcast of heroes and monsters. Today, we are combining both heroes and monsters into one. The 1966 King Kong show, which I never did see as a young child, although I knew of it and I knew of the theme song, which is odd. I mean, I'll talk about that later in the future episodes. This debuted on prime time, I want to say on NBC, ABC, pardon me, yes, ABC. September 6, it ran September 6, 1966 to March 4th, 67, and then a bunch of times in syndication and other toys and merchandise, which we'll go into in future episodes. There are a total of there's 24 episodes and a 56-minute pilot, which was split up in syndication, good Lord, to be 2 episodes. So a total of 26 episodes, which is a good time. The episodes run about 6 or 7 minutes each and are not they're all self-contained. Let's just, before we get too much further into it, please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and let me know what you think about the show. Some people really don't like it, find it insulting to King Kong. This was probably long before Peter Jackson did his insult, but we'll get into that. And if you're ready, let's get on with the show. We do have the amazing theme song, which is one of the top 10 theme songs from the 60s. It's great and just memorable. Rankin Bass, who produced this, once again, we've got Rankin Bass here, had a knack for writing some good tunes. That would be Maury Laws and then one of Rankin or Bass, I forget which one. So we're going to be reviewing the first 2 episodes, the key, where King Kong, the family finds Kong and then goes to New York and does not end poorly this time for our hero. In between, the rest of the show is Sam had a Tom of Thumb episode sandwiched in there. It's okay. Tiny Human Underground Military Bureau. So these are a couple of shots from the theme song. The boy too young to know the danger punches a volcano and his name comes out. There we go. So these came from the DVDs. There's 2 DVDs with 8 episodes plus the 2 pilots, one on each one, that was released around the time, 20 years ago. Good Lord, how'd that happen? When Peter Jackson did his Needless remake and extra long. There's actually a decent movie in there if it wasn't 3 frickin' hours. But here we have, that's Captain Englehorn, the only character that is on there. Now, I thought he was back piloting the Venture, but it says he's got some other one, maybe some other ship name. But he comes back and forth. He's one of the few. There he is talking to Bobby. That boy ain't right. And that's Susan Bond, who's voiced by Susan Conway. Bobby was voiced by Billy Mae Richards. Carl Bond is voiced by Bernard Cohen. These are all regular voices for, regular voiceover artists. We will get to a certain doctor of unknown origin, but he's voiced by Paul Soles, who was Spider-Man. So Captain Englehorn knows that there's something strange and tells them about Kong. And got a bug. This is a nice attention to detail, a bug netting around in the tent. Of course, they're on solid dirt, so anything that burrows up from there, go figure. They're talking about Kong. He says it doesn't exist. And then he says, Bobby, stay within earshot. Bobby immediately goes and wanders off, slides down there, sees a pteranodon. Pteranodon picks up an armadillo Sees a stegosaurus, runs away from it, even though it probably wouldn't have hurt him, runs right into what he calls a tyrannosaurus. It's got 3 fingers, but maybe they still think that, I mean, they might be basing this on the original 33 movie. And then Kong shows up. They have a tussle. He slams him, body slams him, and he finds Bobby, and they become friends. Bobby talks to him like he's going to know. Kong just finds him boring, I'm sure of it. See, his eyes are closed all the time, but they're buddies. He's like, look, there, Captain Englehorn's back because Bobby's been gone because he's a moron, and he should be punished for this. But guess what? Let me see here. Rankin Bass, they contracted Toei Animation, so this is one of the first actual, what do you want to say, combinations, where they work together. I mean, and Rankin Bass worked, also licensed out to Toho for King Kong Escapes, which is, I believe, next year's 60th anniversary. This is this year's 60th anniversary. There'll be about 4 episodes of reviews because they don't have but about half of the episodes around. Bobby introduces Kong to everybody, and Susan at first doesn't like him because she keeps making things dusty, but a storm is coming, so they're going to weather it in the tent there, much bigger there. But they look out, and now there's a tsunami, seismic wave or tsunami, Pinky. Either of them would be correct. They are not accursed of humans, though. They get away. I love the fact that only Susan puts on a rain slicker. The professor there grabs his books, Carl Bond, and Bobby they're all in shorts, and he grabs the hatchet. A tree falls on the professor. Fortunately, Bobby goes and gets Kong, who saves them all. He's taller than the seismic wave. And they're all happy. So Susan likes him now because the eye of the storm has passed over him. And he does his roaring thing. Now they're saying, well, let's take him back to civilization, because taking a giant ape back to civilization always works out for the giant ape now, doesn't it? I mean, if he doesn't get killed or something, he runs into a big radioactive dinosaur. But there he goes. This is right out of King Kong Escapes, except that Kong's good. He's also 60 feet, 10 times as big as a man. Say 60 feet. So he's not gigantic like Godzilla's Kong was. He swims because apes do swim. And Bobby's going to be a sailor. Uh-oh, something's off the starboard bow. It's a ship. They're telling him, don't show up, look out. And and they call it a kraken. They actually say that a giant devilfish there has attacked the ship. Now that should be a squid, but it's kind of this strange mutant octo squid thing. But he's like, Kong, don't go. And of course, Kong goes right to fight it. So once again, and it's a good little battle. And he goes, get one of these. So he attacks Bobby and the professor, his dad. Kong's got a stick to beat it with, and he hits it. Ink goes. Kong's, I'm assuming you don't see a body, so, Odako survives there. Now, Mondo is on the other side of the world. This is Mondo Island, same that's in the movie, in the Pacific. And they've had to go through I don't know if they've been through the Panama Canal, but they go to New York, and this is a preview. And now we get to Kong and the key to the city. It's the second. So here he is, intercom. It's another storm, lightning. The captain says, you got to let Cut Kong free or we're going to go down with the ship. So he does. He thinks he's dead. Science Foundation. That looks like they're on Themyscira now, doesn't it? But Kong shows up. There's New York City in the background. And he wades ashore. He plays with a toy cop car, puts it down upside down, but doesn't hurt anybody. But they're going to kill him because he's a giant ape. No, wait, give him a chance. Let me have Bobby talk to him. But they start firing because they're morons. We'll get into that, but it's time for something completely different, which is, of course, station identification, which is not different at all, though I need to make a new one. You are watching Xenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters on KXNO, part of the Zenorama Broadcasting Network. We now return you to our regularly scheduled program.
I am the Swami Bondi. Look into my eyes. I am going to predict your future. I am going to tell you exactly what is going to happen to you 1 week from today.
Those bumpers are sure going to come in handy. I love the shot of the obligatory helicopter with the giant ape. This is what he does to it. He doesn't even hurt anybody. I mean, it is a television show. But he does pick up Susan, and they use a flamethrower on him. He just swats him away, but doesn't kill him. Then they start, and he's roaring. So this Kong is built like a regular ape more than the Toho Kongs, or even the original one, who looked mostly like a regular silverback, but did not act like one and still looked very different. So Kong is not just an ape. He's a thinking animal. His brain is about 10 times the size of this average gorilla's. And of course, guess where he's climbing? Because he's got to do it. It's the Ginger General Thunderbolt there. And the Air Force comes in. Now, these are jet fighter. They would probably do a lot more damage to Kong than even this Kong than the biplanes. Bobby goes running up there. He's put Susan down. He swats a plane. Everyone bails out. Bobby's like, no, we got to save those people. So he just goes down and does it. And General Ginger tells his buddy, he's on our side now. He's a hero. He saves everyone. They give him the key to the city. And they say, like, just don't bring him back to New York. He's like, all right, I don't want to go back to New York. I know they say New York City is the place where Kong can take a walk on the wild side. But, do. Yeah, a Lou Reed reference. And here is this is the first short episode, Under the Volcano. Don't think that's anything like Under the Boardwalk. But we're back on Mondo. And you're finding this, the professor says, I saw, smoke coming out of this one, so they go in. Uh-oh, strange shadows behind them. Strange rocks. And this guy, who is Vishanti or somebody, Vastus, I don't forget, he's figured out a way to tap into the volcano's energy so he can try to take over the world. Most of the villains on here are one-shots, except one. Look at the way this is shot, though. This does not look like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. It does not look like Filmation cartoon. It's got its own look. And, the Japanese cartoons looked different. And that's a good thing. I mean, this show, I do like it for sentimental reasons. And, it's about a giant ape named Kong. So, but it's your standard Saturday morning TV. But they're likable characters. The villains are villainous. They're never really out to hurt anyone. So there's his minions. We don't ever see any women. In fact, Susan's pretty much the only woman we see for a while. Bobby goes back to get Kong, and he comes through, but they've prepared for him and drop a net on him. They capture him, and this never works out well for anybody except for the ape. They've got him chained up. At least they're not taking pictures of him, but they're about to sacrifice Bobby, and Kong's had all he can stand, and he can't stand no more. Down everything goes. He swats him away. I mean, he almost, splats him, but I just like the fact they're flying through the air. And he drops the boulder down into the volcano. It explodes. Love this shot, too. Really great shots here. And that's it. And now we have the treasure trap. Dun, dun, dun. And this one just involves, there's no villain in here except Bobby's an idiot. Again, that boy ain't right. He's diving off Kong. He goes down, he sees an undersea galleon. Some way how the Spanish got into the Pacific. Well, they were probably in the Pacific. But he said, Dad, we got to go. He's like, I know about it. I can't do it now, Bobby. I'm writing this report on a typewriter. And Susan's reading Gone with the Wind. And, she's about halfway through it. That book is long. So Bobby's like, I'll go down myself. Obviously, he's a trained scuba diver. And he's smart, at least. He's got Kong. But he shouldn't be down there by himself. You always bring a buddy because you never know what you're going to run into underwater. But there he finds it. Uh-oh, treasure chest. But then, of course, an earthquake happens. And it's teetering right there. And Bobby's stuck. So they go, they figure out what he is. They only have an hour's worth of air in there because they didn't refill him. But he's got 2 tanks, so he should have 2 hours worth. They don't have to put on a wetsuit because it's tropical, which saves a lot of time for sure. Down goes Knox. So he comes back and gets Kong. Kong lifts it right up. It's like, I'm sorry, Dad. Again, Bobby is done something stupid and gets rewarded for it. And they pull it out, and it's full of old junk. But you can give it to a museum; they'll love it. Like, okay, ha. Just don't go diving without Kong again. He's like the Bobby Bond Adventure Society or something. Now we have a preview. Kong is getting gassed. I wonder if King Kong will need to escape from somewhere. And the horror of Mondo Island. This will be for next week. And then we go into the credits. And please drive if you know what to do if you're leaving. But I'll give this show overall 5 Zeno cubes out of 7 because A, sentimentality, B, first Japanese co-production, I think deserves something, and I just like it. And the theme song gets a whole cube by itself. There we go.
No, Kong, don't! It's a trap, Dad. Don't let him touch it. It's charged with electricity.
Hurry, you clumsy fool! Hurry!
I can't do it.
Get out of the way!
All right, my fellow agents. Tomorrow we will be reviewing the 1996 second Ultraman Mebius movie, Superior Ultra 8 Ultra Brothers. Something bizarre like that. It's pretty darn good, and there is some multi-dimensional stuff going on. We can forgive it. But be that as it may, until that next assignment, this is X7 signing off and phasing out. And remember, you better know the name and fame of King Kong. Be seeing you.
俺たちが昔見たウルトラ兄弟だ。